gluteus maximus, and the deltoid. So that means if I were to cut them out, you'd be able to name them? Those two. Okay? But it wouldn't be fair for me to set out this one and that one. Would it? No. So, at the time of the practical, a lot of what we're going to have will remain, boy, this one's trying to come apart very much. What I'll do is I will set out one of our models, all right, and the muscles that you're supposed to know on this model, I'll be like, name this muscle. And I'll have one of my little pointer things, okay? But does anybody happen to know what this muscle might be right here? My gastrocnemius, okay? Love that muscle. Let's say that I had this stuff like right here to name this muscle. Not asking you to name this medial or lateral head of it, because you see how it's got two heads, okay? I'm just asking you to tell me the muscle, because that's what you're responsible for, okay? I will only have it pointed to the muscles that you are responsible for, all right? But that could be your vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, your quadriceps. It could be your tibialis anterior. These are the things I'm going to want you to know on that list. I'm trying to, the list that has been put together is one that will be the most common that you'll come across. Because these superficial muscles are the ones that'll get pulled, they'll get strained, they might get damaged in some way. But in a major incident, the deeper muscles are going to be what cause severe problems. Okay? Like, for example, a friend of mine, her brother-in-law, drove a log truck. And he's delivering the logs. You know how they're like belted in with like these huge ratchet straps and everything? And even though he was standing in the right position, and I can't remember what all happened, the logs fell on top of him. He survived, which is a miracle in itself, okay? But because of all the damage that was done to all of his deeper muscles, he can barely walk now. And he's younger than me, because those muscles are so damaged. But the ones that will come in with the most common injuries are going to be these bigger ones. Okay? So, what I want you to do for studying, because don't forget, you guys you've also got your bones for the practical, but you're going to have the muscles for the practical. My suggestion, okay, and this is just a suggestion, you don't have to do it. The models that we have, if it's a muscle that you need to know, okay, and I will tell you this, okay, if you try to learn it by these little numbers and stuff that are painted over here, I'm going to be covering those up. All right? So don't try to learn it that way. What I would suggest, if you need to know your vastus lateralis, okay, I would do this number. I would take my phone, I would take a picture, however it's going to be the best way, and then, I don't know, if you want to print the pictures off, or if you want to create something on your computer, whatever the case might be, and have something saying, fastest flat route. I would take pictures of them on the model. Yes, no, maybe? And on that one too. Back here at the back. Torso, not a lot. Okay? Definitely the models, the legs, the arms, the heads, the neck, the complete model, that sort of thing, I'll take pictures. This is a good picture with the representation of a lot of the muscles you're going to need to know. Another good picture of the ones that you're going to need to know. And you do not need to know these for the test this week. This is all for the practical. Okay? So what happens now with the rest of this chapter, all right? What this chapter does now is it goes through different regions. I was like, what is wrong with the LCD? And it's the leg. Okay, now, what it's going to do is go through different regions, give you an idea of some of the different muscles and their job. Flexion, extension, rotate, abduct, that sort of thing. You do not need to know all of this. Okay? What I would do is I would take the pictures and muscles that are on your list, highlight. Does that make sense? Okay? So that as you go through these pictures, and if you find that you need to know the temporalis muscle, highlight it here and go identify it on the skull. And if you need to, take a picture. Okay? Because if you take a picture, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to match it up and look at it at home. Yes, no, maybe. Good deal. Now, chewing, when we talk about mastication means chewing, all right? That means chewing your food. And do you guys remember when in Chapter 9, we talked about the different movements that occur with some of the joints, where we had elevation, depression, traction, retraction, the circumduction, abduction, adduction. You guys remember those? Okay? This is just kind of referring back to that information, talking about some of the muscles of mastication. Oh, and the hyoid bone. How the hyoid bone helps support the tongue so that swallowing can occur, which is kind of cool. Once again, I'm not going to talk about all of these, okay? Just be sure to look at them, match up what you need to know, and then highlight it and take pictures. This is explaining swallowing. I won't ask any questions about that, but look at the muscles that get involved. Just swallow. That's pretty cool. The larynx, pharynx are going to come back to you in part 2. More muscles. That once again, I'm not going to stand up here and redo them. Now the eye. Okay. I don't think that you have any of the eye muscles to label for the practical. I don't think. However, these are going to come back to you in part 2. Okay? These muscles of the eye, because the eye is seeing is a special sense, and that's going to come back to you in part 2 when you get into this chapter. This is what I mean by deeper muscles. In the trunk of the body, with these deeper muscles that they're listing here, where do you see them getting connected to? The coccyx. Anything else you can notice? Our spine. And the ribs. The reason I mention this, okay, these are going to be muscles whose function is a little different than other skeletal muscles, because the ones that are attached to the spine, they're going to be the muscles that work to keep you upright. Okay? The muscles that you find in between the ribs, they're going to do this number. And the reason for that, and they're going to be innervated by, the diaphragm is going to be innervated by something called a phrenic nerve. Okay? And when we think about the rib cage needs to do this number. Why? I gotta breathe. So it needs to allow for the expansion and the recoil of the lungs. And it's those tiny muscles that are going to be in between those ribs that allow for that. Think about that. When you eat ribs, okay, have you ever noticed that if you've got the rack of ribs in front of you, that once you get through that little top layer and you're down to the bone, the meat in between is like this? That's the reason why. That's the orientation of the fiber. Pretty cool. Huh? Oh, yeah. This is showing some more of those deeper muscles. I don't have any of those listed, but I keep it in here because of the fact that these are muscles that are playing a part in keeping you upright.
So a lot of the muscles, like in the ribs and like these muscles, are they involuntary, like, control, like
They're not involuntary. What they are on is, okay, so here's what happens with those deeper muscles that are like in, at the spine and so forth. Okay, these muscles that we have out here, that we can palpate, all right? If we do a lot of work, if we do a strenuous activity or anything like that, these muscles get really, really sore. And they fatigue. Is everybody following me? That's the reason you get sore and you get tired and you just have to go, okay, stop. Whew. Okay, time out. These muscles that are deeper like that, they actually resist fatigue. If they didn't, we'd either be falling over frontward or falling over backward. So their ability to use their energy is completely different. But they're still considered voluntary skeletal muscles, which is kind of cool. Let's see. Do you have to know some of these here? The abdominal wall, definitely going to need to know some on that one. Did you notice in the video he talked about how you need the abdominal muscles to keep you from falling over backward and the back muscles to keep you from falling over frontward? Okay? This is sort of what it's referring to. This right here, the abdomen. All right, so they got a six-pack or an 8-pack. And have I heard a 12-pack or something in reference to the stomach? I have. Or they did. I like it. I like it. Okay. So, what they are referring to is how in the structure that we have in this abdominal wall, for example, we got this linea alba. And so as you're looking at this, this is going to be